Sam Bankman-Fried was detained. Congress is holding numerous hearings, and the legal case involving FTX's bankruptcy is still pending. Hold on, folks. A momentous week is ahead. Both current FTX CEO John J. Ray III and former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried were scheduled to address the House Financial Services Committee. Obviously, that wasn't exactly how things turned out. Before we get into how things turned out, hit the like button, subscribe to spread awareness about crypto and to be part of my investment journey. Click on the notification bell so you won't miss out on any exciting details. To sum it up, the Royal Bahamas Police Force detained Sam Bankman-Fried on Monday night after receiving the word from the Southern District of New York's U.S. Attorney Office that a grand jury has indicted him. When the indictment was made public on Tuesday morning, it became clear that Bankman-Fried was accused of wire fraud against both lenders and investors, conspiracy to commit money laundering, and a few other counts involving securities fraud and political funding. The Securities Exchange Commission entered the picture with its own accusations, claiming that Bankman-Fried had repeatedly misled investors and had engaged in numerous types of securities fraud. He paid Kevin O'Leary $15 million to advertise at FTX. Other endorsers were also paid, such as Shaq, the Golden State Warriors, Tom Brady, and along with a few other celebrities. Bankman-Fried made an appearance in a Bahamas courtroom. A judge refused to grant him bail and set him a hearing for his extradition for February. Contrary to standard bankruptcy procedures, its attorneys claimed in its first bankruptcy court that the names and other details associated with the exchange's creditors should be suppressed for the time being. The names and other personally identifiable information should be currently remain under seal. Judge John Dorsey of the Federal Bankruptcy Court of Delaware agreed. On December 16th, there will be a hearing to talk about this. Bloomberg, Dow Jones, the New York Times, and the Financial Times are among the news organizations that filed to join the bankruptcy case last week in an effort to argue that at the very least, the identities of the creditors should be made public. Let me guys know what you think in the comments. Do you think that they should be made public or not, and why? According to the complaint, debtors allege that their customer list and related customer data is valuable and a vital asset of the debtors, and the debtors retain their customer list in tight confidence. Additionally, they assert that public disclosure of the debtors' customer list might provide the debtors' rivals an unfair advantage to contact and steal those customers and would interfere with the debtors' ability to liquidate their assets and maximize value for their estates at the proper moment. This argument has not persuaded the news organizations, which label it ambiguous and claim that a concern about competition does not warrant redacting the names of a bankruptcy estate's creditors. The news organizations said that these types of redactions shouldn't become the norm if there isn't a threat to the creditors. But they also stated that in this case, they are only seeking for names and not the addresses or contact info for creditors. Because crypto investors possess significant, easily transportable assets, the crypto sector is likely to claim that there is a threat and that they are targets. The court has stated that anonymous evidence of claim will not be accepted. There is no use in keeping the names private at this time since disclosure is unavoidable, the filing stated. The U.S. Trustee's Office, which is also opposed to redacting the identities of creditors, is where things start to get a little strange. According to that entity's petition, it's somewhat rare that FTX doesn't even wish to file the names under seal. So we got a lot of stuff going on here with this FTX case right here. And by the looks of it and by the research that I did, it looks like it might be pretty hard for the investors to get their money back. It might be quite the challenge, but, let's hope for the best. And yeah, let's keep an eye out on the updates, and we'll see what happens with this, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And to those who are subscribed to my channel, thank you for your continued support. It truly means a lot to me. Let's get this, guys. Let's spread awareness about crypto. That way we can get more investors, and that way it helps, it helps us along with our research and gets us started. But anyways, you guys, I just wanted to say thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. According to Moskowitz, if FTX's accounts are deemed to be securities, the celebrities may be liable for investor losses under the harsh blue sky regulations that prohibit the advertising of unregistered securities and hold promoters accountable even if they weren't aware of what they were advocating. The majority of the crypto sector, including FTX, has argued that digital assets are not securities. However, Moskowitz's complaint contends that they are, involving a threshold established by the Supreme Court decision from 1946 because they meet the criteria for a public investment in which the investor gains from the work of others. Given how divisive and unresolved the subject is among regulators, proving that the interest-bearing accounts FTX marketed were unregistered securities won't be easy. Brady and two other defendants are the subject of a second state class action lawsuit brought by Moskowitz in Florida. And the judge, Michael Saylor, has been tasked with making a decision. Moskowitz says he will argue that celebrities should be held accountable under a stringent Florida consumer protection law that forbids, quote, unconscionable, deceptive, or unfair acts or practices in the conduct of any trade or commerce, end quote, even if the judge decides that FTX interest-bearing accounts were not securities. All of the defendants in Moskowitz's federal class action lawsuit, including entrepreneur Kevin Mr. Wonderful O'Leary from the business reality series Shark Tank, NBA star Stephen Curry, and tennis champion Naomi Osaka, promoted the brand. Yeah, that's a lot of people. So FTX got a lot of attention. Less than a month before FTX declared bankruptcy, O'Leary expressed his complete trust in the exchange in a video that was broadcast to his website. O'Leary declared, quote, "If there's ever a place I could be where I won't get in trouble, it'd be at FTX," end quote. Requests for response from Brady, his wife, Osaka, Curry, and O'Leary spokespeople went unanswered. Brady's attorney declined to comment for his story. O'Leary's endorsement, according to Sunil Kavuri, a 42-year-old British cryptocurrency investor who is a plaintiff in the case, is the reason he deposited a seven-figure sum into an FTX account, including money he meant to use for his 2-year-old son's schooling. According to Kavuri, all that money has since been lost and is now included with the monies of numerous other people in FTX's bankruptcy procedures. The SEC regulates O'Leary's successful investment vehicle. Therefore, Kavuri asserted that he ought to be aware of the restrictions on the undue marketing. O'Leary said he was just paid under $15 million to serve as a spokesperson for FTX in an interview he gave last week on CNBC's Squawk Box, most of which is gone now. He claims that he invested the majority of the funds in cryptocurrencies via the exchange and that prices have since fallen. $1 million was invested in shares in FTX, which is now worthless, and the remaining $4 million went to taxes and his agent's fees. O'Leary responded that he and other institutional investors relied on each other's due diligence when questioned about his August 2021 assertion that FTX fulfilled his own stringent standards of compliance. Now he remarked, "We all looked like fools." In reality, Moskowitz's pursuit of A-listers started with a separate case against Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks and co-star of Kevin O'Leary on Shark Tank, who pushed Voyager, a now defunct cryptocurrency lender. Cuban and co-founder of Voyager, Steve Ehrlich, however you say it, held a press conference in October 2021 to announce a 5-year relationship with the Mavericks that would, in Cuban's words, quote, find creative ways to introduce Mavs fans to crypto and help them comprehend it, end quote. Cuban promised $100 in Bitcoin in a widely shared YouTube video to everyone who downloaded the Voyager app and completed a deal for at least $100. Voyager, according to Cuban, is going to be a leader among sports enthusiasts and crypto fans across the nation. Voyager advertisements soon appeared at American Airlines Arena, the Mavericks' home court. Then, however, cryptocurrency prices plummeted and Voyager declared bankruptcy, preventing many clients from accessing the money they had believed they would have no trouble recovering. Cuban's endorsement, according to Moskowitz and Boyce, played a significant role in establishing that delusion of security. They filed a proposed class action case in August in federal court in Miami. Experts disagree on the likelihood that Cuban's request to dismiss will be granted, and the parties are waiting the judge's decision. In order to demonstrate Cuban's substantial connection with Voyager, Moskowitz is already compiling the depositions of other NBA veterans, including Mavericks general manager Don Nelson. Voyager was supported by the club as we would any company, according to Cuban, a Maverick sponsor, in a brief email to the Post. According to Stephen A. Best, an attorney for Cuban and the Mavs, Moskowitz has not shown that anyone chose to work with Voyager as a result of Cuban's words. You'll find that there's a question as to whether any comments were relied upon by the named plaintiffs in this lawsuit. Best said, adding that Mark Cuban and any comments that he made were part of an announcement of a sponsorship whereby Voyager became an official sponsor of Dallas Mavericks. Similar allegations are made against defendants in the FTX case, including athletes David Ortiz and Shohei Ohtani, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, basketball players Shaquille O'Neal, and Udonis Haslem. Ortiz's representative declined to respond. Requests for response from O'Neill, Haslam, Lawrence, and Otani's representatives went unanswered. Celebrities have been known to settle disputes after promoting scam investments in the past. In 1990, after appearing in a commercial for AJ/OB and Associates, a Detroit-based business whose boss had received a prison sentence for mortgage fraud, actor Lloyd Bridges resolved a lawsuit for an undisclosed sum. Celebrity endorsers may be held accountable in fraudulent advertising claims, according to Jeff Greenbaum, a New York advertising attorney, although the Federal Trade Commission has historically been the primary enforcer. He added that it's much less frequent for a private plaintiff to file a lawsuit against an endorser, and that courts have typically been reluctant to hold spokesmen accountable when investments go wrong. What everyone will be paying close attention to in the FTX case is what standards the judges will use, stated Greenbaum. What level of participation is required of the celebrity, in other words? What amount of knowledge must the famous person possess in order to be held accountable? According to Florida attorney Daniel Lustig, Moskowitz will have to present evidence that the celebrities knew FTX might have been misleading investors in order to be held accountable under Florida's consumer protection legislation, which is difficult to establish. Brady probably didn't anticipate FTX to fail, he claimed, and neither did anyone else. Moskowitz admits the complexity of the case. However, he points out that the superstars disregarded their duty to their fans, costing them a lot of money. They also lost other stuff. Brady's picture was removed from Livierto's wall following the FTX bankruptcy. It has been there for years. He said, "I can't look at it any longer." Alright, guys. So, yeah. A lot of stuff going on. And, according to this article, just sounds like some of the stuff that we've talked about before in these other videos about, these projects that didn't work, and, just talking about how, we can't trust these things. We can't fully trust them because we don't know exactly when they're going to last, and we don't even know if they're going to be scams. So, yeah. And let me know what you guys think about this case in the comments. Do you think celebrities should be held accountable for this? Yeah, it looks like we're looking at a pretty slippery slope here for this case. But for those of y'all who listened to the end, thank you. You get a star. Awesome. And thank you, everyone, for your continued support. It is much appreciated. And guys, there's going to be more updates about the FTX scandal along with other crypto news. And I will be giving you guys updates about my crypto investments. So stay tuned for those. Lots of exciting stuff coming up, y'all. So be on the lookout for that. And again, I just want to say thank you. And I'll see you in the next one.